Oh, it is live. Nice. Hello, and welcome to the SBR Btcc blueprints with STDASH designs. Wow, that's a long name. Season 11. Why does it say 2020? It is most definitely no longer 2020. It is 100% 2021. Welcome everybody to what is going to absolutely be insanity here at the Kyoto Driving Park and the Btcc Racing. And I'm looking quite forward to it, as we will get our qualifying going probably quite shortly, as the lobby got up a little late, but we are good and running now, so it'll be a little quick rundown of what we've got set up today, as we are pretty well into the season now, as Adam Piper, who's in here somewhere, is currently leading... Did I scroll by him? I did. Adam Piper's currently leading the standings with 81, followed closely by only, 6 points back is Rob Adams in second place, followed by the previous winner, Nathan Tompkinson, 2 points back of that, only 8 total points back of first place, Nathan Tompkinson, who is unable, I can't, look at that, it won't let me go to him. Who's in there? Then we got Lewis Edwards in fourth with 69 points. Sean Cole in fifth with 64 points. Ben Milton in sixth with 62 points, which means the entire top six is currently within 19 points of first, so that's a pretty tight group right there. Followed again closely in seventh by Ethan Graham with 58. Chris Clements in eighth with 54. Alex Austin also with 54, so I guess tied for eighth, only 4 points back. I mean, they're literally only like 15 points back of the podium right now. In ninth is Alex Austin, by the way. Nathan Myers in 10th with 45 points. Liam McEwen in 11th with 40 points. Thomas Walsh, or Welsh, in 12th with 37. Ashley Sharp in 13th with 23 points. And Brian Ross in 14th with 9 points. So that's the breakdown of the personal standings, and then obviously everyone's got to be in the teams, and with how close the personal standings are, you know that the team standings are going to be even closer. So those racing for the Laser Tools Racing, currently with a 2-point lead in first place, followed by the Team Parker Racing with 127 points, followed by Team BMW with 126 points, so that's the top three within 3 points of each other. Followed in fourth by Power Max Racing and BTC Racing with 118 points, so that's only 11 points back of the lead currently. Motor Base Performance was 63, tied with Accelerate Motorsports with 63 as well, as both those teams have fallen a little bit off, but the top 5 of the teams are currently all within 11 points of each other, so a lot of battles still to be figured out as we see everyone in there. Just little practice runs, or yeah, they're like 4 laps in. These are practice runs for sure. There's the qualifier getting started. So we are going to get ready. As we can tell from this that it's pretty much, Piper might be leading the way currently in the personal standings and currently on that board as well. But everybody's within just like one bad race could drop you from first to sixth. Just a couple of bad performances could drop you, from like a third position where Tompkinson is into like a 6th or 8th, depending on who does well and how well everybody does. So it's going to be interesting to see how everybody works out this required medium strat, where the teammates have to run a race where they, there's not going to be any tire changes. The teams have to run a race on mediums somewhere in here. And it's just going to be real interesting to see kind of how that plays out, because it is seeming to work really well to kind of bring the entire point field together, as currently everyone just seems to be just grouped up on the standings. So like there's no one in this race barely that isn't racing for like major position gains potentially. As we see them going to stretch out around Kyoto. Kyoto is a fantastically fun track. It is going to be so fun to watch, probably infuriating to drive, to be honest, just because, as Tompkinson gets just destroyed. Thank God that's an outlap. Yeah, and that's one of the pitfalls of this track. One of the danger zones is like just these 2 chicanes. You've got a couple of big sweepers as well. And the big sweepers just open up so many angles to attack, so many side-by-side opportunities. So it is going to be pretty interesting to see exactly how everyone does, as it looks like a couple of people, these aren't teammates that are grouping up, so it is interesting to see like if they are going to try to use any slip or anything, as Rob Adams, who currently is in second, is just kind of getting away and going to run his own lap, so we can kind of go on board with him here as we get to look at what a lap at Kyoto looks like on a qualifying lap, as he tends to put down some pretty good laps. This first one, this is one of the sweepers that I was talking about. You know, there's just, if you can get alongside people and force them on the outside, there's just so many places to battle and kind of push alongside. We know in the Btcc that is going to be a multi-lane corner right there. Then into these S's and these GR4s, it's just flat out. You're never even going to see anyone lift here. The problem is you have so much grip, you're going to go side by side, no questions, and that's where things will get real dangerous up this hill into another one of those big sweepers where it's, again, there's just so many lines that you can take and get alongside people. You can put pressure on from anywhere. But unlike the other one, this one runs real wide, so you can see the line's going to push right up to the edge. So if you're on the outside and you're getting pushed off the track, it can be dangerous. Plus the inside for that corner leads you into the inside of probably the second most dangerous corner here. One of these dangerous chicanes with grass everywhere. As you can see, you can really exploit the chicane through there, as he does a real good job of just barely keeping two tires on there. Into maybe one of the only real technical corners of the whole track where you really try to push a late apex here. He does a really good job of doing that. He's probably on a real good lap right here, honestly. Into the deadliest chicane of them all. You just want to like yeet this as hard as you can and just pray that your car catches, which he does a pretty good job of. And yeah, I mean, it's just going to run you right to the outside of the track into what is, thank God, just the easiest corner ever, which I mess up quite often, but it is nice at the end of the track that you get a little bit of camber to kind of help you rotate all the way around, and it pushes real wide, so it's hard to run this one wide into a straight line finish, which is going to put our first lap here at Kyoto down, as everyone else seems to have kept pace with him. So I don't know if that's going to hold as a pole, but that is a pretty decent lap, as a second faster goes Graham real quick. So looking to try to pick up the pace there as he's falling down the board into fourth, as we see some other times coming in just behind him, but there is a decent gap from fourth to fifth there between Liam and Rob, which is maybe just the GR4s. Liam's extremely competitive in the GR3s. But a little bit further down the championship here in the GR4 battle, in this Btcc battle, a little bit more contacts allowed, a little different racing strategies. As we see him all caught up on the back of Thomas right there. That is a frustrating place to be when you're on your qualifying lap, and it's the last lap, so anything that slows you down is not going to be super fantastic there, but he is running mediums. Forgot about that. He's probably not upset at all, actually. What am I talking about? I thought he was on super softs with that time only being that far back, but it's actually the start of the mediums, as we see, let's see here, Sharp is going to want to try to pick up a little bit of positions here somehow, but he's just catching up to this random battle in qualifying because he is on the super softs. Looks like Nathan Myers also would like to try to find a very nice lap, as he clearly got his last lap pretty maybe muddled, as it's about 2 seconds faster. So he's going to want to try to find a little bit of time. Rossi's probably fine with his on those mediums, as is Connor. Edwards might want to find a little bit more time, or he doesn't actually have a lap in. 2:02 is not an official lap. So yeah, he's going to want to make sure he gets his lap in, as this will be the final lap, as we do see them coming around, as Rob does improve, but doesn't actually improve positions. Interesting. We've got, all right, so Ash did go ahead and get an improved time, moved up into 7th on this off, so got out of that little bit of a danger zone with the medium racers. Tompkinson into the 40s, was he on the mediums as well? He is, so that's going to be he's going to be not too upset about being right on top of Liam's time as well. He's got the last 3 group coming around, it just won't let me get to him, as Connor comes across and improves by 1, improving by 2, and Edwards finally with the lap going all the way up into 8th, so he can't be too upset about being on top of Liam and Tompkinson either. He can't probably see how close he is to Liam. He knows that he's close to Tompkinson, but yeah, Tompkinson's all over Liam as well. So, and then Nathan Myers is right there as well, except he's on the softer compound, so probably didn't get the best lap ever out there. As it looks like we are just waiting for the timer to run out, as Sean did not, that's right, Sean could not qualify because the stewards decided to punish him. I'm telling you, I'm not a fan of him, man. Never a big fan. But he's going to have to start at the back and have a little bit of a penalty, and that is just part of the world of racing. But, I mean, let's go ahead and say he probably has the best looking livery in the best car we've got out here. So, you know what? That's probably better than anything else. And so, this will be the first race. It'll be 10 laps. Don't forget our second race will be done some way, and then we eventually have a reverse grid there at the very end. So, oh, that's right. That is completely different. No, we're going to do qualifying for every single race. Ah, I forgot. I'm excited. So we're going to get this first race underway here at the Btcc 2021. As everyone is lined up side by side, windshield wipers ready for the rain. His engineer said it might get rainy anytime soon, so he's got them ready. As we see them lined up, Graham taking the lead. Piper, who's currently leading the championship, sitting in second in a good spot. Milton, who right there is in the battle, sitting in third. Rob in fourth. Clements in fifth, but we know the order. I'm not going to go through them all. As they are away, ooh, a real good start there from Clements. It looked like he's already looking for a run. How wide is everybody going to go into this first corner? Can anybody actually pick up enough pace? As Clements is already up into third. He's making moves already. As Ben's going to have to just concede a little bit of that space. Liam trying to follow him through as well on the softer compound. Harder compound, whichever way that works. This is where they're side by side with Rob and Liam, where you just think you'll have enough grip, and it just gets real tough in there as they all seem to get through nice and clean. Hey, if I was betting on if they made it through the first S's without a wreck, I wouldn't. As they looking through. Myers tried to kind of hold up the inside, but slipped way up wide for a second, which kind of opened the inside back up, as they do finally all seem to line back up. As we've got Graham off to a good start. Piper just trying to hold it in nice and tight. It's their first time through this chicane, as we see people all over the place. Ooh, seems like everyone's going to make it. That is way off the track there by Edwards, just trying to keep the car alive. But he's all together, and they are not going to end up lining up there, it doesn't look like. That is his four. I mean, they would go 6 wide. The track just wouldn't let it. Everyone's looking for positions back here in the back. Who is way wide is Edwards. I mean, honestly, for how often he's been driving off the track, he's doing a fantastic job to even keep the car together right now. So it seems like he just keeps getting pushed off the track. A little bit in the back is, Ben has had, I wish I had replays. I am sorry, buddy. That is rough, as he's going to have to go ahead and try to battle back through, as it looked like not only did he get wrecked, he also got that deal where you get stuck in the wall, can't move, can't get off it, and just ends up costing you insane time. But when everyone's just grouped up, it's going to be that. But Liam currently sitting in 5th on these mediums. That is not going to be an upsetting mediums race right there, as he is leading, I mean, obviously all the mediums drivers, as Graham and Piper battling up at the front. Oh, it was lag. That's rough. Oh, man. I've actually been there before. Is now they're starting to line up. We're getting into these little battles of 2s and 3s. Tompkinson wanted to look up the inside of Liam, and if you can get the inside of this corner, it really sets you up good for the battle for the next corner, because the inside on the chicane is pretty much going to guarantee you a win on that corner. There's not a lot of fight you can do. Whoa. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that happens. Not 100% sure what happened, but a lot of you will go back up. Oh, it's not going to crash that. So we can just wait for that as we, I mean, yeah, so the racing's pretty close, pretty tight. But yeah, gonna be interesting to watch the races once they get them back going and back live. Eventually. It's too bad for Ben with the lag. It's just rough because he's sitting there right in position to battle for the lead. You know, just sitting exactly 19 points back. But you know, sometimes I've been there where your car is just so dangerous out on the track. It's too laggy for you to be there, and you're just making it dangerous for everyone around you because you can't tell where anybody is. Yeah, and when that happens, you just kind of can't do anything about that. Well, I'm actually... Nah, we'll sit here. It's waiting for the information. Let's see if anyone knows. I'm assuming they're just going to change the host over to... Liam or someone. Hmm. We'll just bring the stream back up once the track is back in live. So we'll be back. Oh wait, I just got an update. Maybe okay. I'll just wait for Liam to post it. That's what I figured. There it is. Alright, sorry about that. But we are back. Loading it up, ready to go. I'm assuming they'll just use the same order. You can just post the... Yeah, they can just use the... they don't need to requalify it. So we'll just probably start on the race. It was only a few laps in, and... It's always interesting when you have a restart. It kind of almost simulates a red flag, because everyone just kind of learned what you can do against them. And yeah, that can be pretty brutal in the long run. I remember we had an Interlagos race where we had a race red flag, and I had taken advantage of someone with a bad start and gone up there inside because they just were kind of lazy about being defensive, and I ended up getting like 3 positions, and it got red flagged. We got reset back to our real positions, and they all went super defensive on it. And just like, that is so terrible because I'm not going to get those 3 positions again. And you know, I think about like what we saw. I think it was Clements we saw go up the inside and end up going from like 5th to 3rd or something like that on like almost corner 1. Well, everyone he just did that on is going to now know, like, maybe we go a little bit more defensive and don't let him just pass all of us there. So that's pretty interesting to see if everyone ends up sorting into the similar positions they were in last time, or if we end up seeing them kind of take advantage of knowing what everybody wants to do in those positions now, because sometimes you don't have a lot of practice with the whole field going into turn 1, with the whole field going in through the S's and the chicanes, and like, you kind of got a little bit of information for free now. You know, when they first announced that they were going to race into no pit stops, you're just going to run mediums, or you're just going to run super softs, I was pretty skeptical about how it was going to work out. But honestly, looking at the standings and watching the racing over the past few weeks, it's kind of doing a pretty fantastic job of making it extremely competitive. But man, is it competitive there. I mean, we're talking, I mean, I can't believe that if you realistically just probably do the math, the top 10 probably has a realistic chance to win if you like just really went through there and figured out, like, mathematically, if the perfect scenario worked out. Columbaro, what is up, my man? So yeah, it looks like they will just reset the grid back to where it was. Everyone has to start on the same tires they were on previously. And yeah, it'd just basically be a red flagged event restart. been wrecked so hard that they had to red flag a GT Sport race. I wonder if we'll even see him go for the same kind of move. I wonder if that's just he. Obviously, I'm talking. Where is Clements here? Got such a good launch and everyone else. I wonder if he knows about using a specific, you know, traction control, or if just maybe his Hyundai's just a little bit. I mean, is the GR4 Hyundai that good off the line? I remember the GR3 Hyundai was not good off the line. That thing just like bogged down, but the GR4 might be just way better, and if it is, yeah, take advantage of that. Certain tracks you can win races just by getting a good enough start, just because it's so hard to make passes. That is not Kyoto though. Your start isn't going to make much of a difference when you can be taken 4 wide on every single corner confidently. So we are now going to get underway, back started up. So welcome to what is now the re-official first race of 2021 in the Btcc. And I'm excited. Let's see. Are we going to see those same moves? We're going to see those climbing up the ranks, or is everyone going to get a little bit more defensive? Is my prediction of no one making it through the S's alive on the first lap still a possibility? Because, I mean, I thought I was like, that couldn't be a thing, but, I mean, they got to do it again. So are people going to be more aggressive, less aggressive? As we see Graham wanting to get off to a quick start, revving it up. Piper, Milden, Rob, Clements, Liam, Austin, Myers, Ash, Edwards, Thomas, Connor, Rossi, and Sean having to start at the back. As we do see a little, like they were a little bit more lined up last time, but nope, it doesn't look like Clements is going to get quite the same move. Ben does get a little bit more aggressive and completely seal it off, so they are lining up a little faster now because no one's wanting to get past again. That's smart. And that kind of forces it into a really quick line, unlike last time. Last time they were still battling 2 wide, 3 wide through all this stuff, so that is not going to probably be what some of them wanted. As we know, Liam took a huge advantage of people battling a lot, and he worked his way through there. As we see Tompkinson up the inside. And then right back into line, and just a little quick moves through the S's. Myers is looking a little racy down here into the chicane. It looked, I mean, hey, Thomas looking to throw it 3 wide from 2 cars back, it looked like. What was that? Just kind of glancing out to make sure he doesn't rear end someone, maybe? I do that sometimes. It look like I'm making a move, but it's really because I kind of just don't want to accidentally punt you, so I'll just move out of your slip for a second. But that's not what Thomas is doing. Thomas is getting aggressive up there, just trying to battle through, get alongside, throw it 3 wide. Just trust you have the ability to keep your car together, as he might have been able to do it there. And he's through. Hey, you know what? That works. Nice driving. As everyone else is lining up. Oh, Edwards going for the ramp. Oh, we see Thomas getting that pretty wide out of that chicane. Like I said, it's really the hardest part is Liam, who was, oh, we got someone sideways there. Milden with Clements. Ooh. Rough. I think Milden may have still been lagging. I think that may have been what happened there. As Clements has slowed down, that is going to be devastating. Connor is just sitting right on the back of Ross here, though. Thomas still looking to race. He's up into 10th now. He's sitting on those mediums side by side with Sean. Sean's getting real racy, starting at the back, already into the top 10. And then we look at the top. The top's still good. It looks like there might be a little bit of a gap between Piper and Graham, but Piper is all over the back of Graham. He doesn't want to let him go just yet. He is leading the championship, so he doesn't want to give up any points. And if you win the race, you don't lose points to anybody. If you don't win the race, you're losing points to someone. So he definitely wants to keep that tight, as that is very close. Whoa! Liam going with an insane move. I saw the very end of that. Clean through and done. As he gets right by Austin. We see Edwards trying to climb up through here as well, as the mediums are back into the positions they were in, except this time Tompkinson has found his way to sneak his way through. As Tompkinson's leading the mediums, and he's doing it from 4th position. Last race, Liam was doing it from 5th position, if I remember. Ooh, Austin is all over the back of Liam, just trying to push on through there. As we do see Myers looking up the outside. Or is that the inside? It's going to be the inside. It's the outside of that part, but it's the inside of this part. Oh, and that's going to let Sean close it up even more. Sean was in 10th. He's now looking into 9th. Myers did not get the exit out of the chicane he wanted. Hey, what do you know? There's Thomas right there coming through with Sean. Saying, yeah, I'm here, don't forget. No, don't leave me. I still want to be here. Alright, so we got Austin sitting on the back of Liam, sitting on the back of Tompkinson. Ooh, we hear some squealing. Is that just a sound bug? It's like sounded like someone was about to spin there. We do see the leaders are still all over each other. I wonder if Piper just knows his pace is good, so he just doesn't need to make a move if they're still separating. I had someone do that too one time. Like, well, I knew our paces were good, so I just waited and just beat you on the end, because then I didn't have to risk a single thing the whole race. And it's just like, well, that's not fair. Oh, as we get a 3 wide, oh, where are they going to go? As Liam is trying to make a move back on Tompkinson, who does slam the door shut. Kind of reopens it a little bit, but I think the slam kind of slowed it down enough you couldn't like retake advantage of him sliding off the apex a little there. Ooh, another, must be a little bit of internet issues for some of the people over there. Is it's Sean going around, and now he's up into 8th. Ooh, that is a quick way to make your mediums work, but he does have a pretty big gap to get up to Edwards now, who is still hanging all over the back of this battle here between Liam and Tompkinson and Alliston, so it's his battle too. He's looking for 4th place now. And Rob Adams is probably pretty excited about this. I mean, he's in 3rd sitting on his softs. He would probably like to be higher, but he's gaining points on everyone except for Piper, who is actually leading him, so that is a problem. He does need to close the gap up if he can, but he's going to gain points on every other person behind him currently in this race, so it's not the worst place to be on your first race, even though you would probably like to try to close this race down. As we see, I really think Piper might just feel kind of confident. I think he feels confident that he has no problem passing him later. I mean, because he's not going for any of these moves, and there's no way you slip the entire straight. Yeah, I think he's just like, whatever, I'll just wait until you make a mistake and I'll pass you then, or I'll just take you at the end of the race because it doesn't matter, you're not faster than me right now. Like, there's just no other reason not to try to put him behind you unless you are just super confident that there's just no way. Like, there's no way he's gonna, like, there's no way I'm gonna lose to him, so I'll just take him whenever I want. Oh, change of plans, he's done with it. He wants to get on by now. Oh. We might need to watch this a little bit more. Maybe Graham's just getting super defensive and Piper can't get by. I feel like every time I check, he's just following him, but maybe it's just he won't let him by. Looking behind, we do have a couple of groups battling as well. Seems like all of them are making it through just fine so far. Yeah, I'm going back to my original statement. Piper's just sitting there because he doesn't have to make any moves yet. Does he go for it here? Yeah, for sure. For sure. We'll come back to him when he's going to make a move, which has to be later, unless somehow Graham makes a mistake. I think Piper's just going to sit there until the end of the race. There's no real reason to risk anything right now. And the gap's stable, so it doesn't really matter. If the gap starts closing, maybe you start thinking about it, but as long as the gap's to 3rd is staying stable, it should be just about fine. As we see this battle back here to 4th is not done. These medium tire racers are having nothing but racy right now. Oh, as Liam's trying to defend off both of them. Austin's trying to get a cutback, but there's a car there, so that's just going to run him off the track. If he somehow could have snuck in there between them, he'd have had a real good line there, it looked like, but there just wasn't anywhere to go, so they filter back in, and Edwards is looking like he might try to push. No, he's going to try. This is going to be a rolling start formation through the fast corner. An absolute battle here, as Liam's still doing a great job of keeping him back. Tompkinson, who was ahead of Liam, so Liam has moved by, so if that's a pace thing, if Liam can start to separate, I don't think it matters. Thompson's like, it's not a pace thing, we're fine. Nah, as he's coming right back at him. Oh, as Liam gets super defensive, I love it. Oh, almost put him in the wall. Goes all the way around, but Thompson goes, I can go around the outside, it's not that big a deal. Oh, yeah, it's just you can't do anything on the outside there. It's going to put you on the outside of the chicane too, and that's going to let Edwards left side. You got it, the inside's the better one. Don't follow him. There you go. What a race. These guys are having a blast over there for sure. As Piper's still just looking for Graham to make a mistake, it looks like. Ooh, is Graham getting real slow through that corner. Rossi, Connor, and Clements back here look like they're having themselves a battle as well. There's Thomas, who has worked his way up, still into 10th. Sitting up there, but he's keeping up right here with Myers, and he looks like he's starting to reel him in as well. Sean closing on this battle, which has just got to be a thing, because these guys are battling way too hard not to be losing insane time. They're running in the 40s. I guess Sean is too, so they're keeping pretty good pace considering they're kind of battling everywhere. Apologies, Austin. I don't know how I missed you getting by Tompkinson, but he's gone ahead and put Tompkinson in his rearview mirror, so Liam's got to love that, because that's a battle on the cars behind you, which means you can start to try to pull the slipstream, and if you can separate slip going down straight, you can like get whole laps without battles. And so if he could just keep them battling back there, as it does not look like Tompkinson wants to be following, he wants to be leading for sure. This is the side-by-side. You have the confidence that you have the grip through the S's, so you can just take it side-by-side, and someone's going to... Oh, I think maybe Austin lipped up, or Tompkinson may have just outdrove him there, because they went in side-by-side, or maybe Austin's like, nah, bro, I had to lift because that was ridiculous. Like, but yeah, you just have so much confidence in those S's. You are flat out and have control of your car, but you don't have that much. It's tough. That's where it can get dangerous real fast. What do you know? Piper is still just sitting here. I mean, either they have the literal exact same paces, or yeah, I think Piper's just sitting here waiting for him. He'll make a move, probably the penultimate lap. You don't want to like wait till the very last corner. It could be a little bit late then. But I mean, if you're confident on the very last corner, so be it, I guess. As Rob's keeping the gap standard, so you know, it could be good as well there. He might be able to close and get in there in the next 4 laps. You got to start bringing it down pretty good, though. You can't just keep it stable in the 2.5 ranges. Liam's getting himself a nice separation. Tompkinson getting back, trying to close the gap down. 1.2 is completely doable. And then what do you know? Austin and Edwards are still sitting here like, no, we're still here. We're just waiting. Sean is no longer really closing the gap down as much, but they're not battling as much. So he's probably like, would you guys just get together again? I need a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit of help from you guys. And then 10th all the way back. You can see all the way back to 13th, still in a flat-out battle. As Rossi and Connor still sitting here. As Rossi looks like he's finally lost the slip, but now he's kind of closing it up as Connor runs that way wide. So yeah, he's going to be right back in that slipstream, trying to follow and chasing them down through these S's, running down the laps. As Connor's just going to be like, I mean, you just got to do anything to keep him off the back. Watching that gap come down, you just gotta like take your eyes off of it. Just be like, nah, we're not gonna pay any attention to gaps dropping. As we see Thomas trying to get around Clements, or is that Clements getting around Thomas? Just clearly Clements got his windshield wipers on. His race engineer has also warned him that there may be rain incoming in the next hour. So gotta get prepared, as Sean is super trying to close that gap down. No one goes through a chicane that sideways if they're not pushing their car. And then what do you know? Tompkinson and Austin Thompson and Edwards still battling, and this is what Liam wants to see. Look in his rearview mirror and see the entire world battling still behind him. That gap is just climbing and climbing and climbing, and that is a comfort zone to be in right there. Run qualifying laps with everybody else racing behind you. They may be having more fun, but you're getting more points, so, you know, take what you can get, I guess. And there, what do you know, is Piper's still, like, you're not getting this good a run on someone and not making a move ever. Yeah. I think he either thinks he's got him, or maybe there's just something about that there's just no way the Lexus isn't crushing the BMW down that straight. I was gonna say maybe there's something about the BMW that just makes it, or passing it just makes it really hard. But they are currently battling for the lead, so we're coming around with just, you know, just under 3 laps to go. But Graham's had a fantastic race. He started in the lead, kept the lead, and all he has to do now is he knows that Piper's been holding him, so he knows it's a defensive battle. You just can't let him by you. And now he's in the zone where if you've been followed this long, you know he's going to probably start making moves. He's going to start getting out of that room, as they're running purple this far in, so they are still in the absolute push zone. Just cutting straight through as they're all over each other. I think it may be a little bit of those little traction zones and speed zones where that BMW can really kind of take advantage, is getting a little bit of that separation before the Lexus can really catch it back up. Like, the BMW is going to probably get a little bit. Oh no, he got out way quicker through those kind of exits and these kind of chicanes and things compared to the Lexus. But it looks like Piper's starting to try to close it down, but maybe he did think it was a little bit overconfident with being able to get by him without trying to battle him earlier, and now it's starting to get a little bit of separation. And if you lose the slip, oh, he closed up a bunch there. He almost had him out of the slip, but he said, no, we're going to get that back. And now coming into the penultimate lap, they are completely caught up, as Tompkinson, Austin, and Edwards are also still in the mediums battle. I just don't think the slip's pulling him down as much as he wants. I think that BMW's just getting away from him down that straight line, so he's going to have to find somewhere else to really attack him. And it's probably not going to be on this lap, because he's going to need to use most of this lap to catch up to Graham, as Graham is having a fantastic race, and he's going to try to catch back up, and that's going to hurt Piper's total point gain on Graham, which should be really good for Graham, because Graham was personally in one of those spots in 7th where it's like, mathematically could still do it, but he's just at that 20 point. You'd like to beat him by more than a position, but it starts by beating him, so you definitely got to make sure you keep him back there. As we glance back to the medium racers, Liam sitting comfortable now. Something must have happened a little bit here, as Tompkinson is separated outside a slip distance here of Austin and Edwards, who are still in a complete battle. Looks like Sean has caught up with, or no, Clements has caught up with Sean, I think. And now he's moving on through, and he's going purple. He's saying, I can do a fastest lap back here. He's on the super softs, though, so that would make some sense since he's on the mediums. That's right, he had that earlier mistake. Or, I think he got wrecked, actually. And then we see Rossi still trying to close it up here on Connor, as Connor does have a little bit of a gap now than we did last time we checked, so he's doing a fantastic job of maintaining that. And it seems like most everyone else is pretty lined up, and Piper back with, oh, looking up the inside. What a time to come back. This is exactly where he needs it. Now we're going to see who can take it away. It's just going to come down to straight line speed, and it's going to be tough. Lexus should be fine here, though, as he gets it right up alongside him. He's going to force him around the outside, though. Stay defensive. It is a corner you can go around the outside, but it does have a lot of angles to cut back on. It's a huge corner, so you can just wait for him to apex and cut it back. And I think, yeah, I put the pressure on the S's if you can. It's a tough one. Trust your driving. Now he's all over the back of him. This is for the win here on the final lap. Oh, that is tough to race that close without making contact. This is going to get alongside, as that is a major defensive run from Ethan Graham. As Piper's going to once again, if you can keep the inside here, he's going to have to look for a cutback, because just the inside has got to be where you end up, and you can't get to the inside probably without looking for some sort of cutback move. He's not quite able to get just straight alongside him and make it just a straight move, so you're going to need to get on a different line than him somewhere, and there's just not a lot of corners left to get on a different line, as that was a huge jump through that chicane. As now he's got the run. Oh, he's still forced him on the outside. There's the cutback. That's what you got to do. It gets you alongside him. Now, if Graham can just keep it together, he can keep the inside to this part of the corner as they go side by side. 2 corners to go. Into the death chicane side by side. This could end in tears. As Graham gets contact, look, that was for the movies. As Graham locks it down and somehow holds that on. How did he hold that around the outside with his car completely sideways? There should be nothing Piper can do here to battle back. As long as Graham keeps this corner clean, which he does, he's going to take the win. What a race by Graham, as it almost allowed Rob to close up the gap. And then Liam, who's actually let Tompkinson close in, looks like he's going to take 4th place, which is a huge position on mediums. Like, Tompkinson and Liam are getting huge points. So is Edwards, who has somehow found his way by Austin, who is also being chased down by Clements, who's up in there. As they're going to go 3 across right here. 6th, 7th, and 8th, and they're all on the super. So there's super softs and mediums mixed in there. Cole up in 9th, which is fantastic considering where he started that race. Thomas into 10th, great race from him. Myers in 11th in the battling of the back with Connor and Rossi. Brian Ross, that is. And as we saw, Milton, who was having some internet issues, had to disconnect, so he is probably getting credited with last. Maybe a DNF, not quite sure. But, you know, the internet can be fickle. We've all played GT Sport. We all have had plenty of internet issues. But congratulations to Graham and the Super Softs, just absolutely flying out there and just completely battling. And Piper and him going side by side and somehow even sideways drifting it through. He manages to maintain in front of him and keep some sort of simple speed. Just fantastic drive from him. And then honestly, Liam, who currently sitting 11th in the standings, which is probably further down than he would like, coming in with an amazing drive and really trying to get some points. I mean, running his mediums and getting inside the top 4, top 5, was it top 4, I believe? We got our race results right here. We can check real fast. Yeah, top 4 on mediums. Absolutely insane. Rocking the Genesis. fantastic racing. So that's the end of the first race. We've got 2 more to go. There will be a qualifier for each of these, so don't go anywhere. We've got a lot of fun ahead of us. So I did not write down who all used mediums and softs, and my memory will nowhere be good enough to remember everybody who did mediums and softs. But for the most part, we'll guess and we'll get there. But anyone who used mediums is no longer required to use any mediums. They can go super softs in race 2 and 3. Anyone who used super softs last race may switch to mediums this race, or they may hold on to them to the third race. We will have to wait and see exactly what their plans are going forward. As our qualifying will get underway in just a second, we do know that we saw our leaders with Rob Adams, Adam Piper, and then it was Ethan Graham on the super soft. So more than likely you tend to see people use them on the second. That was worrisome. You tend to see people use them on the second race. That way they can race super softs on the third, and more people tend. But every once in a while, someone maybe who doesn't usually get a lot of wins or a lot of time at the top of the race, they might sneak it in there so that they can run super softs here where there's less people on them. But it just kind of depends. There's a lot of people who are on super softs or on mediums last race, so it'll be interesting to see what everyone's strats are. Liam just reminding everybody about their tires, as we do see Liam on the super softs, Connor on the super softs, Rossi on the super softs, Tompkinson on the super softs. So the mediums are done with their mediums, and they are ready for their super softs for sure. We got Graham getting rid of the mediums, and Clements was Clements on the mediums last race? No, he was on the super softs, that's right. So he's going to get rid of the mediums here. Tompkinson's already used them, Thomas has already used them, and hasn't Nathan Myers used mediums last race, or did he not? He may have not. So he's going to be on mediums this race. I think he may have been on super softs last race. That might be correct. So it is going to be nice and interesting to see exactly. It looks like everyone's got their tires locked in. Looks like everyone's just about readied up. And as we are down one caster, we do have a 15th person, or we had a 15th person, didn't we? Am I forgetting? No, we didn't. That's right. Did we? Now I gotta exit and check. We did. That is right. Oh, that's right. It's Connor. That is the extra racer in right now. Well, maybe since Ben had internet issues, they'll give him Connor's points or something. As we were just waiting for this qualifying to get underway. Got the Beavis Morgan, Connor and Liam. Oh, I guess Connor and Liam are on a team. How do I not have any points for Connor? Must have written something down wrong. I apologize, Connor. But welcome to the club. But wait, there's a third person. I'm just going to pretend like I have no idea what's going on and just call it races. Because now I'm confused. Okay, got it. I believe I understand. Cool, so I'm not 100% sure what we're waiting on for the qualifying, but it will be underway in a moment, I'm sure. Looks like we're going to have about 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have about 5 people on the mediums, which put 8 on the super softs. And then, is there anyone? We'll find out in the last race. I'm trying to think if there's anyone who is gonna go super soft. Maybe not. Might be everyone on super softs for the last race, or just maybe one person on mediums or something. But it looks like we're getting ready to go in about 2 minutes. So we can see Tompkinson here, who had a fantastic battle. I mean, it was just absolutely battles left, battles right. The problem with battling is it's like the best way and it's the most fun, and everyone's like, nah, I'm looking for races with battling. But then when you battle, it's like, well, what's the problem? What's hard to win when I'm battling for 5th and 1st and 2nd are just cruising with each other? And it's like, yeah, you gotta qualify better. It's like the only option to that stuff. But then if you qualify better, then you're not battling because you're just racing at the front. So it's a double-edged sword of the fun stuff kind of costs you too much time to win sometimes. And then every now and then you get in the races where it's just battling left and right. If you can get the leaders swapping, like what we saw with Liam in that race was an exact example of why people get away. It's because the battles don't happen evenly. And when finally someone gets slowed down and separation happens, it's hard to close that gap back up sometimes when the battle's still going on. Like once someone gets out of the battle ahead of it, it's tough to close them back up until everybody quits battling again. And it's impossible not to battle when cars are near you because you just need to get by them. And it's tough not to cost someone time, and that's going to usually cost you time as well. But here we go with our qualifiers. Everyone's entered, ready to go. Why am I on that camera angle, by the way? Was I on that forever? I hope not. I don't think I was on that camera angle forever. Alright, as everyone gets out, ready for our qualifying, we've gone over the track, we've seen how it goes. I wonder if it seemed like kind of in the original qualifying, everyone kind of got a little grouped up. Man, you gotta have a lot of faith in the person in front of you and the person behind you if you want to slipstream each other to try to pull any extra time. Like, you need to have a teammate, and you need to have a teammate who you trust to run those laps, because it's just dirty air gets really nasty when you're going real fast, and like trusting them to not only pass you but pass you without slowing you down is so tough that it's like I would much rather be in Tompkinson's position where I'm just like way out ahead of everybody, or in Piper's position where I'm like, ooh, I lost a minute, but no one's gonna mess with my lap. Who cares? I'm just gonna run one solid lap and it'll be fine. Like, he might not have to wait quite as long as he did, but he isn't going to get any traffic. Like, there's just no chance of traffic, really. As everybody else is, like, kind of hoping that the person in front of them runs a good lap, but not a great lap. So that's going to be interesting. It looks like Liam's figured, like, let's maybe let all these cars get by, because this is kind of a dangerous train I'm in. Let me find someone better to follow, or, like, who could I work with, because this is a dangerous spot I was in. And he's on the super soft, so he definitely doesn't want to be behind Graham. Graham is on the mediums. He's still trying to get out of people's way. Just giving Rossi a little love tap, like, hey, bro, I see you. Letting, oh, this is a tough spot because you want to get a good exit, so you got to let them get far enough ahead. And it looks like Liam's done a pretty good job of getting himself into a spot where he'll have a spot to qualify. He is still praying that people directly in front of him don't crash and burn and get on the track and slow it down, because he's not that big of a group. But it looks like Liam and Piper and Tompkinson are all sitting in a pretty good spot. Thomas has a good spot as well. Nathan Myers is also good. Rob worries me. He's a little close to another car. Connor's not in a terrible spot unless he gets closed up by Ash here, as Ash looks like they're closing up on him. And then Edward's in a good spot. He's got a nice little track in front of him. Be a little worried here for Austin if Edwards has any issues, but he's could actually pull a little bit of slip. So Graham's in the weird position here where he really needs two people in front of him to run worse laps than him, but not so worse that he like gets slowed down. Rossi's honestly in a good spot, but if he ends, yeah, it looks like he's messed his lap up, so he doesn't want to slow anybody else down, so he's just bailing out on that. Fair play, fair play. As we see, Sean sitting in a decent spot. As long as he doesn't get closed up by Clements, he should be fine. And I kind of actually like where Rossi ended up here. If he can somehow just follow, that can kind of end up pulling you to a pretty decent little lap as well. Liam should be starting to get terrified now that he's getting closer and closer and they're grouping up and grouping up. His lap should be good, but there is a depth chicane coming up, and there are cars all right in front of him that aren't far enough away that if they mess up, he might not get gathered. So he's probably not feeling super happy about it, but Tompkinson's going to set our first soft lap at a 38. That's solid. Thomas, 39, not going to quite get it there. Myers, 41's not going to do it. Rob's jumping all over there. Rob's into fourth. Connor's into third currently. As everyone's coming across, can't even keep up with them. Clements jumping into seventh. Rossi jumping into 13th. Piper is still way out from finishing his lap, so let's go through and see it. Tompkinson with 1 lap to go, currently sitting on pole and purple. Liam with his smart little strategy got in second, but I mean he needs a lot of help on this lap because it looks like he's going to catch people. Thomas sitting with a solid 3rd, big fan. With a decent 39 too, is not bad either, and he's going purple here, so he's trying to improve on it. Connor is probably like, bro, I'm in 4th, get out of my way, I need to get a better lap, let's go, everyone's all over the place, and he's coming through with a solid performance so far, sitting in 4th, let's go. Austin, solid back here in 5th, also looking at traffic everywhere, going, guys, what is going on? Piper... So he gets another lap, and this was very well done, although his lap could improve. He definitely is sitting in 6th, and solid Graham, who, I guess Piper's actually probably not too upset with that. He's on mediums, so he's leading the medium crew. So Graham's on mediums, and he's currently ahead of Ash. Clements, who is on mediums as well, just back at that 9th. Edwards on super softs, definitely needing to find a lap. He does not want to be starting in 10th and on the super softs. That'll be a tough run as the final lap's coming along, and it doesn't look like Tompkinson improved. Liam went into the pits. Thomas does improve his time, but does not move up the board. As we see Rob improve his time. Edwards jumping way up the board. Graham also getting better. Oh, there's Sean jumping up into 6th. So he's getting up there. Rossi improving his time, but staying in the same position. It happens all the time. And what do we got? Piper still finishing a lap somewhere. How are we looking, Piper? Final lap. Plenty of time. Didn't get to see any of your zones, so we're 100% guessing that you are on a good lap here. Looking pretty spicy. Fightable. Sitting on mediums. Currently sitting 2nd out of the mediums, as we see Tompkinson taking pole, followed closely by Edwards. Liam shortly behind that, with Thomas sitting right behind there, just outside the podium looking in. Connor, one of his highest qualifyings right now in 5th. And we've got Sean sitting in 6th. Austin 7th. Graham in 8th, which is leading the medium, so Ethan Graham is not messing around today. He's trying to win the super soft race, the medium race, and then come back and win the super soft race. Followed closely by, believe it or not, Piper, who I have a feeling I know how this race is going to go between those two. And then we've got STDASH sitting here on the super soft, so probably got his laps ruined. I expect him to probably go ahead and bust on through into the super soft battle pretty quick, I would think. I think he probably can get by the 2 mediums in front of him. He just ended up qualifying behind them, but he does have the advantage of the tire. Otherwise, if not, he's definitely going to be battling with them because he does have the tire advantage for sure. Yo, Techno, what's up? I rarely look at chat, so it's even crazy that I saw it if you're still watching. But here we are, Tompkinson taking the lead, Edwards in 2nd, Liam chilling in 3rd. That is a top 3, followed by Thomas, Connor, Cole, Austin, Graham, Piper, Ash, Rob, Clements, Ross, and Nathan Myers at the back. And right off the bat, we see Tompkinson going very defensive, literally running Edwards all the way down the track. I want the inside line. As we see Liam Gowna just keeping it a little wide there, opening the door for Thomas, who's looking to take advantage of it, jumping all the way up into 3rd already. Connor jumping up in there as well. He's wanting to get fighty too. As we see Sean right behind him. Graham, however, and Sean, is Sean on the super soft? Sean is on the super soft, so I'd expect Sean to try to get super race here. He's like, I'm getting on the inside. I don't care how far over you come. And he's trying to literally get everybody past in one corner. He almost did it. It looked like there might be a little opening to slip through and go wide, but that would be way too aggressive. Someone was running pretty wide, but that happens when everyone's going 3 and 4 wide into these different chicanes. Oh, the 2 wide. That's going to be tough as Connor is not backing out. This is Btcc, so you can bump and move through a little bit. And they have definitely not lined up yet, as we do see Edwards looking to make a move on Tompkinson going through here. Starting to line back up. Liam sitting a little further back than he'd probably like. Sean already hunting it down into fourth, so he's worked his way through. Thomas, who was up into third at one point on this lap, is now some way back into fifth already. So Connor looking up the outside. Probably not going to get it done here. Maybe setting up a cutback. I like it. Just not enough room to really get in there and get alongside. But he does get a good run coming out, it looks like. As they do seem to all start to line up as, someone's looking, Piper's looking racy, maybe a different little strategy as they are all in a three-man line. Someone watches NASCAR if they're running that close. And through this sweeper, I thought you'd see a lot more side-by-side pushing, but it doesn't seem like a lot of them have quite enough power to get alongside to really push the racing into that. They tend to end up getting it into these little S's, it seems, the most, but most people seem to be kind of content with just staying side by side with each other. We do see Thomas and Connor still being super racy. They're not content with running side or front to back. They want to be side by side. Thomas keeps the inside, which is going to definitely win the corner. Connor needs to find a way to get his car on the inside of one of these battles, because it just seems like the outside's just not going to work. As we see, is that Liam going defensive against Sean already? I mean, I think you should probably go defensive more often than not. It costs you the least amount of time, and sometimes people just completely back out on the battle, and then you don't even have to worry about it. I even had people start giving me space before because they're telling me that they're not going to battle me. And it's like, if you're going to tell me you're not going to battle me, you're going to have a lot of trouble with me. Like, you can't do that. You got to battle a little. So, yeah, I think you definitely got to go for it. Oh, he's going way wide. I bet Sean's going to try to take advantage of that. Liam keeps his pace up going there. That's impressive. Usually those walls and grass and everything really slow you down a lot. But he manages to keep it up mostly, but it looks like Sean maybe is able to get it going off the outside, as he doesn't quite have the speed as that Genesis pulls away very quickly. Looks like Edwards is doing just about everything he can to hold on to Tompkinson right now, as Tompkinson wants to get up there on the podium. He wants to take a win by getting there. As we see Sean trying to force Liam to stay down, get any part of that car alongside him so he has to stay down, but just can't quite do it. And I think as long as you stay somewhat defensive here, it's going to be really hard for Sean to really do anything. You take the inside. Oh, he might get the cutback. Oh! Couldn't quite get it. He sat it down there. It looked like they were going to collide there for a second. Oh, that's going to be worse. And Sean does get a run going, and that run might just lead. And that's on the inside. It's going to be tough to defend, but yeah, he just can't keep up down the straight line. That is tough, as he keeps just pulling it away as he gets outside of him. You see everyone else. Rossi's up into 8th, getting super racy right now. Austin sitting in 7th, about 2 seconds back at Connor, who is still all over the back of this battle. And honestly, it's helping Thomas and Connor out that they are just watching the battle between Sean and Liam. And, you know, I thought Edwards was slipping off of Tompkinson. I think even Rocky slipped back a little bit, but he's still right there at 4:10, so he's not letting him go anywhere. He might be in a similar scenario as Piper was, where he just can't find... You know, I thought Piper was setting him up the whole race, but it seemed like when it all came and done, it's just like there wasn't enough places to really get a pass done here, even though there's a lot of places to go side by side. Going side by side doesn't mean you're actually going to complete the pass, so it seems like once someone goes defensive, things get real tough real fast, as we see Thomas going defensive against Connor, forcing him on the outside. And then, yeah, on these fast corners, when you get forced to the outside, it just changes your lineup enough that there's not much you can do. As Connor does look like he tries to get a cutback, it's not quite enough. And I think a lot of people are probably not wanting to really try to push their car to go side by side through the S's. As, ooh, we see Edwards all over the back of Tompkinson there, trying to find anywhere to get by him. Sean and Liam switching it back and forth. Taking a little bit different lines there, but ending up in the same place. And Sean is all over the back of Liam. I love it. But yeah, as long as you keep forcing them outside, it just seems like there's not a lot of places to really come out of these corners with a run. So it's going to be interesting to see if anyone adjusts their strategy, adjusts their driving style or anything, because going as we see Edwards trying to get a cutback action going through the hairpin. The hairpin is one corner where you probably can go around the outside, so if people are going defensive a lot, maybe you can force them real defensive on the hairpin or something, and then hold it around the outside there. This chicane, I think you might be able to run the outside. I think in the first race we kind of saw Piper and Graham battling through there, and I think Piper took the outside, or I mean I think Graham took the outside and got a little sideways, but managed to make it work. Could have also been a little contact and lift action, so as we do see in the back here, we got some massive racing between Clements and then Rossi right all over the back of Clements, Piper all over the back of Rossi. As Rossi's looking to get racy up the inside here. Not wide enough room, and they both end up running it wide a little bit, so that's going to let everybody else gobble them up as well. As we see Clements and Rossi getting followed closely by Thomas and Piper. Wait, that's not Thomas and Piper, that's Ash and Piper. As they go all down the hill, and I see the leaders are side by side somewhere. As Tompkinson once again goes defensive, comes off the defensive line, that might be an idea. If you can get him to come back off the defensive line and then you just dive it, that gives you the inside. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? As we see this battle back here in the back is huge. 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th. As Clements gets a little slip. Piper looking to find any room to get through here. Graham's back in here as well. This is the battle for the mediums, and this is intense right here. Like, not to get me wrong, it's intense everywhere in front, too, as we see Austin going a little wide. Connor's still just all over the back of Thomas. Sean still can't really quite find any way past Liam. Edwards still trying to find any room on the leaders, and then you come back here, and it's just this huge group. As they few run wide, Piper and Clements a little wide, but they're still in there, as Rossi's keeping right in the battle, as well as Graham's working his way on through, trying to find a way to get through. Rob Adams is in there, and some of these, you got to realize we got Piper, Rob Adams, Lewis Edwards. He's not in there. That's not one of them. Nope. And Graham on there, and these are all racing battles. These are battling for positions in the standings right now, as they're battling for positions on the track. And Clements is right there as well. Clements is only 4 points back of Graham before the last race. So this is a massive battle for positions right here. Every one of these passes is like changing points all over the board. As we see, Rossi's looking like he's in this little front three, just trying to find anywhere. As he goes outside quick, trying to get the line. Can't quite get enough. As if Piper goes defensive here, maybe we can get a little double pass, Rossi. He's going for the double pass. Why did the tree get in the way? Oh, it's Clements gets pushed way wide, but Rossi's going to do it. He's going to get both of them. As he goes through into 8th. Way to go. What drive? That's confidence. You see the gap and you just go for it. Rough on the side of Clements, as he did end up off the track and ended up losing a lot of positions. On the good side, you're still in the battle, so you just got to work your way back through all of them, so that is a rough spot to be. As we see up here, Connor, I mean, just all over the back of Thomas still. Thomas is having a sweatful race, as just every corner he's got someone all over him. We've got Sean getting past Liam, so Liam has sacrificed the podium. He's not going to be happy about that. So that is not where he wants to be. And then we've got still up here in the lead. They are still all over each other. So it's shaping up to be a different group of people doing the same thing as the last race, where Edwards is just looking for any line that might somehow get him a run so that he can get his car alongside to make a pass, as it seems like Tompkinson has done nothing but shut the door on him the whole race. Sean has figured out a way to get by. So he's moved by Liam, so now Liam's in the position of trying to need to figure out a way by. And unlike Sean, he doesn't have 6 laps to do it. He's got to figure it out in the next 4, so he's going to have to get real aggressive with it real quick. Sean giving Liam the Liam treatment, just going defensive on the corner, and Liam tries to keep it on the outside, but there's just not much you can do about it. Maybe some sort of late cutback, maybe nothing, but yeah, it's just so tough there. As we do see Thomas getting himself a little bit of a 3/10 breather from Connor, and it seems like, well, 3/10 isn't a breather. Well, if you've been watching their racing, 3/10 is a breather. He has been all over his bumper this entire race. As Liam with the move through the chicane, getting it done. He wants that podium position back. Edwards and Tompkinson still all over each other. it looks like Nathan Myers is kind of closing this gap up, as we haven't seen, Clements hasn't quite been able to work anything on Rob yet, as Rob isn't able to get anything done. But we do see Rossi's been worked his way back down the grid, so while he did have that amazing three-man pass, since we've left, people have been moving him around, as we see, oh no, way wide, way off, oh. I mean, it happens. Someone was bound to have it happen to him, as it didn't look like it. I couldn't tell if he got any help on the push and if he got pushed wide, or if it was just all-out aggression, just really wanted to stay in the battle and did not want to lift, and that took him wide. And once you get on the grass, I mean, you're pretty much at the grass gods. If they want to spin you and throw you into a wall, they'll spin you and throw you into a wall. There's not much you can do about that, as we do see Piper back ahead of Graham, so he does not want to let him beat him 2 races in a row. As the battle for the podium is not just between Liam and Thomas. Where is it Liam and Thomas? It's been Liam and Sean for like 6 laps. Thomas is done hanging in the back. He wants to get on a podium. He's getting racy and looking around the outside. Where did that come from? Let's go, Thomas. As Sean has sacrificed the position to him, he's looking to get that back. Liam now has to figure out how to defend 2 people who are attacking him. And who knows, Connor sees a podium sitting right in front of him. He's like, what if you guys just all run into each other and just let me by? That would be my theory if I was in his spot. Like, oh, as we see Liam going way off, getting it 3 wide. Connor can't find the line he wants to go on. Probably follow, I have no idea. I'd stay to the inside. Whichever line is going on the inside is the line I would want to be on. He's going to try the outside, though. It is the hairpin. It might work here. They are. And this has helped. Now, all of a sudden, we've also got Austin in this battle. This is a 5-man battle for the podium, and somehow they're still battling for the lead. Why would anybody say they don't like this track? It makes no sense. You don't get this kind of racing on real tracks. Is Liam somehow back in the lead? I swear I looked like he was spinning out a second ago, so I'm not even sure how he's still on the track, let alone in the lead of this group that he's running right now. But he's gotten back in the lead and started to pull a little bit of a gap. Is Thomas just fantastic, just patient, into 4th, still trying to find his way onto the podium. Connor is by Sean into 5th. Where is this coming from? He wants to get into this podium battle as well. Sean can't be happy that he was literally on the podium 2 laps ago, and now somehow he's on the outside looking in, barely. Everyone's taking advantage. He will go 2 wide in the... Oh, okay, he backed out, I think. I don't know if it was the racing or just the backing out. And now somehow all this has happened. Austin's in this battle. What's going on with our other guys in the back? Let's see how they're doing. As they're all over each other. Graham has actually fallen back of Piper, who is still holding on to that little group right there on the mediums. We've got a little bit further of a gap back here to Clements and Rob, but they look like they are in an absolute mayhem on the penultimate lap. Rob's trying to find any way into the top 10. Got to get into the 11th first. You've got Myers, who's worked his way up in from last back into 13th, and Rossi, who was racing like a beast, had a little bit of incident. He's trying to get back in this. So this is just kind of going crazy here, as we see Edwards still not really able to find anywhere to go, but I mean, he's looking like he's kind of done following and just wants to get by anywhere he can. I mean, he's in a BMW, just BMW pass, just legal contact, but you know. Oh, he doesn't care. He's going inside here. It's not enough. It might be enough. It might be enough. He got a really good run there. They are going to definitely be side by side going down the straight for the final lap. Oh, and that Lexus just gets away. It seems like whoever is on the outside just gets that exit and just kind of like pulls away, and there's not much you can do about it. As we see behind him, Liam up in 3rd. Not as big a gap as he'd like. Thomas trying to close it down. Connor all over the back of that. So that's going to get insane as this is the final lap. We see flashing lights somewhere in the background about something. As Piper's getting hunted down by Ash, who's hunted down by Graham. Rob with a little bit of a gap, but he's getting chased down by Clements here, who's getting chased down by Myers just outside of that. And then Rossi's still on the straight as well. So Edwards looking outside. Can't find it. Trying to get a cutback done. It looks like there's a little room. He does get a little bit of room. He gets his car in front of him. He's going to have the inside of the chicane. He might have the complete pass done. Oh, he's in through on the final lap. Tompkinson dropped him on the final lap. He's not done. He's coming back. He says, I'm going right back at you. And that was a really bad idea. If he'd have gone back, it probably would have not ended well. So he backs out. But there are not many laps. I think Edwards may have just done it. If he can get defensive, these are some very defensive corners here. Oh, you can't quite get it, as I think that's going to work. It's all going to come down to hitting this chicane right, and that's going to be insanity, as I'm sure absolute mayhem is breaking out back here. Oh, as we see Sean spinning in the background. He does not catch it. Liam going through. Tompkinson trying to find anywhere to get through. Edwards was flat out through that, did not care. Wants this win. Literally took that at full speed and literally gained almost a half a second on him through the chicane. Someone wants to win, and congratulations to Edwards, who ends up getting it done. Am I even saying the right person's name? I am. On the final lap, and then Tompkinson coming in second with a fantastic race, but he would probably say otherwise, giving it up there on the very final lap. Liam ends up holding it on over Thomas, fantastic, and Connor into the top 5. There's our top 5. What racing from them? Sean, who wants to be in that top 5, probably thinks he should be on the podium. Going to get a solid 6th. Austin going all the way down into 7th. 8th was Piper, who ends up holding on over Ash, who ends up getting over Graham, which is going to be helpful to Piper because he beat him last race, and now there's a person between them. 10th comes in Rob Adams. Clements in 11th. I can't remember the other ones. We'll get to them. I think it was Nathan Myers in 12th. Was that what I saw? Did Nathan Myers end up getting by another person? And the race results. Clements in 12th. Nathan Myers up into 13th and Rossi into 14th. So, congratulations, Edwards. What a fantastic race. Tompkinson and Liam for our podium finishers here on the Super Softs. And then Piper. Ash was actually on Super Softs, and Graham and Rob are their top 3 finishers on the mediums. However, for Piper, he actually got ahead of some Super Softs, so that will be definitely beneficial for him. As we are now ready to get started on our final 3rd race, qualifying. As always, I hope everyone's on the same tire, but there'll be a couple of people on some mediums, but usually Adam said he could win this race, did he? Well, I believe in him. I'll pull for him. I believe he can win this race. Been watching him race. He's been going crazy this race. Now, I've seen him race a lot. What'll end up happening is someone will end up punting him off the track, and then he'll fall all the way back and have a great recovery race. But I'll pull for him to win it. I bet he can do it. It'll come down to qualifying. We've seen how hard it is to pass here. You need to qualify well if you want a chance at winning. It's just going to be tough to come from, like, 11th. Or 9th, or 8th, all the way up into 1st, when they just can do that. If you haven't used mediums, now is the race, unless you're a cheater, in which case, I won't notice it, so I'll announce it like you aren't cheating, but you'll get punished afterwards, so probably don't do that. But for the stream, I'd have no idea. As it looks like we've got Ash on the mediums for this race. Is that it? So we've got Ash on the mediums for this race. So everybody else is on a Super Soft. So this is about to be a fantastic, basically 14-car Btcc battle with no pit stopping. So, I mean, Ash is going to just be sitting there hoping for, like, mayhem. Because, you know, he will be able to pick off anyone who actually just spins out or slams into walls. Like, you know, mediums can keep pace with people who are, like, costing themselves 5-6 seconds a lap and stuff like that every now and then. So, you know, if anything he gets would definitely be awesome. But it looks like we got everybody starting on the Super Soft. So, it's going to be an interesting race to see how this goes. Yep, I don't see anyone else adding a medium tire. And it looks like everybody is in and readied up. So, get ready for the Btcc Super Soft Kyoto race. Which is going to be quite exciting. It's going to get to really kind of get to see a pace race more than anything here, if you really think about it. A lot of times, you know, you kind of got different tire strategies, and people are getting slowed down by different people and stuff like that. And pace is always king, but like here, this is going to be one of those deals where everyone's in the same tire. It's just going to be a straight pace, and you need to qualify near the top. So, you know, hopefully you've got your qualifying strat figured out by now, so that you can run the best lap you can run in qualifying, because the higher you qualify, the better. And you know, we saw some amazing racing from, like, Connor last race. So it'd be nice to see exactly where, you know, where you're going to fall when everybody's on the Super Soft tire. We saw some amazing racing from Liam, who's had trouble in the GR4 so far. So it'll be nice to see where he falls when everybody's on the Super Soft. You know, Piper thinks he's going to win, so everybody's on the super soft, so you don't just get to beat 6 or 7 people. Let's see you beat 13. So it's going to be an exciting time to watch. Yeah, and since the standings are as close as they are right now and all over the place, I just can't wait to see the next standings, because there's just no way they're not just like getting even more clumped up, because we've seen Ethan Graham have amazing performances and he's middle of the field, so that's like a potential to move up. Lewis Edwards had an amazing race, so that's a potential to move up. Piper's having great races, so he's trying to maintain his lead, but there's still potential for a lot of people to be moving up on him right now. Who else have we seen? Liam, who's way down the leaderboard. Sorry I keep mentioning that. It's just had a fantastic race. So this is a huge potential to get into that top 10 and to even, start pushing towards the top 7 and 8. Stuff like that. Like, the team standings are all within like 3 points of each other. So who knows how those are working out right now. I wish I could do that kind of math on the spot. But BMW, Parker, and Laser Tools all within literally 3 points of each other, and so that's just going to be absolute insanity. And yeah, qualifying should get going any minute now, so well, Piper said he wants to win the race and he is already throwing down a fastest lap, so that is fun to see. Longest 2 minutes of my life. Do we have a 2 minutes till qualifying starts? Yeah, start in 2 minutes. So we should be starting literally maybe in 7 seconds or something like that. Is it at the 5 minute mark that we're gonna start? Do it. Oh, that'd have been cool though. Ooh. Piper lost it. Can't race like that if we're gonna win the race. As qualifying for the final third race of the first race of 2021 in the Btcc, sponsored by STDASH, presented by SBR, insert other sponsorship here, is getting started now. Man, Liam's trying to get out. They just would not let him go. That's pretty hilarious. That's who we're on. It's just revving from stall 1. It's just like, nope, you do not get to go yet. It's like you're playing F1 or something, the racing is like, nope, you can't go, and no car passes for 30 seconds. It's like, just let me out. So we see Thomas in a good spot. I still think getting out first is about as good as you can go. Now, you can't slam into a wall and let everybody by you. That won't work out. But I think getting out in front just means that no one can do anything to you on your qualifying lap. You get to do your qualifying lap. Now, I now like where Graham is, because he's now in that position, as it looks like Thomas has let a few people by. He must have made a mistake and just didn't want to like really slow anybody's outlap down. I'll slow someone's outlap down if we're all on an outlap. As we see Tompkinson closing up here on the back of Piper, it looks Piper actually jumping out on the track, huh? You're not doing the stay away for a minute and get the track all by yourself. Did you accidentally leave or something in the last race? Because I liked the strategy. I think it worked out very well for you. As Thomas, okay, teammates, Thomas says, I think you're quicker than me. Go ahead and let you get by, and now I will slow everyone down behind you. And that way you can have your own track, and no one will pressure you, and hopefully you can pull me along to a good lap as well. I liked it. I wish I had teammates as good as Piper, because Piper is being a teammate there, and Thomas is like, yeah, I'll just take advantage of having a good teammate. I used to do that with one of my teammates. It's like, oh, well, if we're in qualifying, I'm just trying to find you, and I will just follow you. And if I mess up, I mess up. Don't worry about me. I will not. If you even see me start to hit mess up, I'll dive myself into a wall. I will never kill you, but I'm just going to let you pull me to good laps, and I'll race with that. And it's literally what I did for an entire season, get pulled by a teammate. As they are now officially on their first lap of this race, Thomas wants to keep it tight with Piper, as they are both on the super soft, so really want to work like teammates here in the race where you're running the exact same tires. Graham says, nope, I'm getting out of the pits as fast as I can and running a good lap. So does Clemens. Clemens is in a solid spot. I love the spot Piper and Thomas are in. That's just teammates being teammates. That just doesn't get any better than that. Just run the lap together. But the faster of the two, most likely, I can't say 100%, but it seems like I see Piper a little bit higher than Thomas more often than not. But after watching last race with Thomas, he's going to be racy as anyone, and just put them in that order and let them pull you, and then if you both get amazing times, that is how that works. Edwards and Graham, who had different strats of running in the track differently, are going to see how that works out, but I mean, it works too. You get your own little lap. It's no big deal. It's not like a huge benefit to get a major slipstream here or anything like that. I mean, it could be, but is Ash also on the track in a decent spot? Myers has a good spot too. We got Connor getting hounded by Rob on a qualifying, so that's a weird spot for both of them to be in. That's just a little weird. Like, you're not on a team together, so you're kind of racing, but it's qualifying. Unless Connor had made a mistake, which is what I think probably happened since he backed out of that lap. Liam closing the gap up on Rob. Austin in a good spot. Little gap in front, little gap in back. Got decent speed around you, so you're not really too worried about people. You see Rotary coming across with the 38.4. That's good. That'll be good. Piper, the 38.9 is good, but not good enough. Edwards, 38.7, not good enough. Graham thinking he might have an early podium potential. 39.3 is going to be real good, but not good enough. 39.2 from Liam is good, but not good enough. Anyone going to get in those 38s? 47's not going to quite cut it. Nope, that one's just a bit outside. Tompkinson to the 38s, but not good enough. And we have one more person coming around. If I can find him. Rossi, does he do it? Just a bit. Just missed it. So, Graham looking real fast on this thing. Piper talking about wanting to take a win. He's sitting in 5th, so that's on the outside looking in. But Graham with a 2/10 gap over Edwards. That is going to be interesting. Graham, is he going to stay? We got a time zone coming up. We'll check their times as they go through it to see how everyone's doing. Graham, is he going to be on a purple lap? Needs to be looking good. Graham is close. I have no chance to get to Piper in time. Oh, you can't cycle through those fast enough. I wish I'd just go in order. On the track. So we know Graham could potentially improve. He's the only one we're probably going to realistically get to check. We'll see what Tompkinson gets here. Is he going purple for the final lap? Nah, I'm going to doubt it with that line. I mean, he's on his personal best, but it's not purple. As we see him coming across here. Piper improve into 2nd. Ooh, Edwards does not. Ash improves, not into, I don't even see him. Ooh, everyone coming across, jumping all over the place. As we see Austin in 4th, Tompkinson in 5th. Conrad coming through with the 39.4. Tompkinson with a 38.6 trying to jump up the board, finding the podium, but still a little bit behind Piper. We got one more person coming. Is that going to be Rossi again? Oh, yeah. It is, who improves his time. Qualifier has ended. Improves his time, but just outside of Myers there. And Connor up into, what was that, 11th? We'll go through them all here once we get a chance. So, amazing run here from, I believe it's Graham on pole. Piper in 2nd. Tompkinson in 3rd. Edwards 4th, Austin 5th, Liam 6th, Connor, that's not Connor, that's Sean 7th, Rob 8th, Thomas 9th, Clements 10th, Connor 11th, Ash 12th, Myers 13th, and Rossi in 14th, and we should be away any second now. There we go. As Graham gets off, does he start off going defensive? No, he's staying way wide. He doesn't think anyone got a decent... No one did get a decent enough run. It looks like Piper might lose out to Tompkinson on the first run, as he did not get a very good start. And it does, as Tompkinson goes ahead and moves on by into 2nd right off the bat, and Graham is away, and Piper's all the way down to 3rd right off the bat, already getting hounded by Edwards and Liam from behind, as this is not where you want to be. You don't want to be the sitting duck who's getting hunted by everybody, as that's how you end up going 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and realizing now all of a sudden you have to battle halfway through a race. So he's going to say, no, I don't think so. We're going to keep fighting back. I'm getting 2nd back. I'm definitely not going down. We're winning this race. As you see Tompkinson and them all over the back, and I'm sure Graham is just looking in his rearview mirror going, already? You guys are fighting already? Please, like, please do that. Let's keep seeing it go second, third, second, third, second, third between all you guys. Because the more you guys change positions up here, the further back you're going to probably fall from Graham. As we see him coming into this big sweeping hairpin for the first time, trying to look forward wide. Sean may have punted half the field back there. I couldn't quite tell. I definitely saw him get into contact with a little bit, and I think he was trying to like concede it as he was like kind of sliding across everyone else there. But it's Btcc. There's a little bumping as you see them literally like just ching 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 bump through that whole thing. Once one person gets into the back through a chicane, it just kind of bumps everyone. As we see Ash pushing way up the inside there of Rob. Rob keeping it together on the outside though, slipping back in. He can get him back on the next turn as we see Liam all over Edwards. Edwards couldn't go defensive early enough, and Liam gets the run up alongside of him. That's going to be tough for Edwards to defend as he does get it done. Tompkinson falling back just a little bit. Piper trying to close that gap up on Graham as we see the top three kind of trying to check out. Now, let's see if Liam can separate away from Edwards and them, or at least stop the bleeding, because this is going to be bleeding a ton of time as he continues to get battled with into every corner. As Austin's going along, so Austin saw the battle happening as well. I'll just take advantage of this and just go up the outside then, and it just doesn't quite work out because the outside doesn't work on this track clearly. Tompkinson looking for anywhere. The outside might work in a scenario where you can get 3 cars. Like if you can get 2 cars kind of doing some funky stuff and you could force it 3 wide, maybe you could, oh, that would make so much more sense because it looks super funky when we were watching it there. It was like, I think he missed a brakes point or something because he just kind of like cleared through half the field. Alright, so back up here, we've still got the leaders all battling. It looks like Piper is not wanting to do the like sit here, which is a different scenario. They're not pulling away from third place, where you can try to just kind of sit back and be a little bit more patient. You are getting attacked by third place, so it'd be better if you can get by and maybe not be the one who ends up losing all the extra time. As Piper does look at the inside as Graham massively misses that apex. Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe I just bad camera angle, because he did get a good run out of that. So I think maybe, yeah, bad camera angle or something. As we see Tompkinson literally, maybe Piper got a bad run out of it or something actually, because Tompkinson's got a huge run on him. And I think he kind of backed out of it a little bit there maybe. Still looking up the inside. This is a tough place for Piper to be. You're on the outside, inside outs. Oh, this is going to be weird. As he gets it done before, so that'll be nice and clean. No one really wanted to run side by side anymore through the S's. They seem to be wanting to battle out of the hill, and Liam knows that, so he stays way over. As he's like, nah, you're not gonna, like, look, I'll take 4th then. Like, fine, if you guys want to battle, I'm not letting you buy me. Like, you guys could not pass me, we won't battle. Or I will defend every corner that you try to pass me on. I love it. That's my driving strategy. Like, no, we're not doing this. Like, you don't want to pass me, then you stay back. We'll catch him with you staying back. Whoa, Liam must have missed a brake spot there as he had to like cut to collect his car there. As we do still see the battle going as, oh, Tompkinson's looking to get raced. He's going from 3rd to 2nd. Piper's going to try to throw it 3 wide. Oh, as we get a little contact between Graham there and Tompkinson as Tompkinson tried to go around the outside. And they filter right back into the position they were in 4 corners ago. They have literally all filtered through like all the possible positions available between them through 3 corners. So they are going to continue to battle for the remaining 7 laps here as we see them coming around. Liam trying to close the gap down, but it just doesn't really seem like that's going to happen if they want to keep battling. And that's going to be tough because I know everyone behind him is like, I'd probably just want to go ahead and pass you too. We'll battle here for 4th. They are kind of moving the gap stable though, so that's interesting as we see Piper having to go way defensive, which is not going to be great. That'll cost a little bit of time. 2 Graham as we see Tompkinson trying to use it to get the advantage up the inside. He kind of has a similar position he's had a few times on Piper, but he doesn't get it done before the S's this time. But he still gets it done at the end of the S's this time, so it doesn't matter. They got control. They can do it side by side through there. As Liam comes out and surprise, surprise, goes defensive. And again, they try to go on the outside, and this cutback timing, I mean, maybe time your cutback a little differently or something, but it's just not really much you can do. He's just going defensive, and it's just a fast sweeper. He can still hold the line on the inside. It's just a little bit slower and slows everybody down. Going defensive as this huge battle is coming in, as we see the gap still kind of actually stabilized in front of him. So the amount of battling is relatively even, although it's not getting even as Graham is starting to get that gap separated. He's wanting to get the slipstream gap for sure out of the way, as we see Tompkinson trying to go on the outside of the hairpin, and that might end up working if he can keep it. Use Piper saying, no, we're going to push you off. Oh, they're pushing him back off the track. Fair play. You get pushed off one way, I push you off the other way. That was amazing. That's just Btcc rules right there. Like, well, fine. I mean, anything you can do, I can do then, I guess. As they're going to continue this battle. And the question is, are they done fighting for first? And they've decided that we are just battling each other now. As you have drawn blood, I have drawn blood. This is now a battle to the death? Or are they going to, like, get over that little shit and that was it? And now they're going to go ahead and close down Graham. So that'll be interesting to see if they're done for first now. Now it's all-out war between the two of them. Or if it was just, nah, okay, I did it to you, you did it to me, we're back to battling, and let's get back to the lead of this. As we do see Liam kind of getting some separation. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, all right on top of each other, so that's a huge battle. And there's Thomas in the middle of it with Austin. Edwards surprisingly sitting there right on top of him. I think he wants to get by here as fast as possible, as we saw him absolutely battling and crazily in the next race. Rob, who has had a tough couple races, is up here wanting to find himself in the top 5, battling through here, looking for any room as Thomas is going alternate routes. Maybe keeps it together. How did you not come across the track and kill Rob there? While that was alternative routes and going all over the place, that was fantastic to not kill anyone. Everyone trying to keep it together. There's a little bit of contact, just a little bit more for fun. And let's go see real quick if they're closing that gap down or if they're just full out battling each other. They're just full out battling each other, aren't they? Yep. So they're probably going to have trouble closing down the gap to the lead here. It looks like Liam's like, yeah, I want you guys to keep battling because that'll get me in this. They're going to go side by side through the same chicane. Cleaner. Cleaner. It was better that time. No need to push each other to the other side of the tracks this time. Last time got a little sketchy. As we see everyone kind of coming all different lines through here, as Edwards is all over the back here of Austin. Thomas trying to hold the inside. On the outside is Clemente. I can't hold the outside. How many times am I going to say this? It's the inside or nothing here. I can't wait to see someone prove me wrong. I need to see someone get a pass done on the outside somewhere. We see Tompkinson trying to set up a switchback. I think, yeah, they definitely said, hey, you know what? Never mind. You can have the win. It's between us now. We're in a different battle for the race now. We are no longer fighting for first, but we are fighting for pride. Because they are not even attempting. Like, they aren't even thinking about battling for first anymore. They are absolutely battling each other for every corner right now, as they're going to go side by side again. Tompkinson saying, I can prove you wrong. I'll try it around the outside. He might make it work. And then he loses a little bit there. The tree gets in the way. The grass. The grass. Oh, as he keeps it together, but the grass just ends up costing you too much time. He almost made it through, though, around the outside. As he's going to go back on the inside. There are sparks from your contact, guys. As they are literally just door handle to door handle, bumper to rear bumper, just all over each other right here. As we see Tompkinson looking again out the outside. Piper got the memo I sent out. No passing on the outside. It doesn't work. Oh, Tompkinson faked it and goes for a cutback instead. Oh, has that got enough run? He's got alongside, and he's on the side that keeps winning the battles, but not quite by enough. Just not enough to hold it around there. But now he's got the run all over the back, and believe it or not, Liam has sniped up in here as these two are just battling like insanity. And now what if Liam comes in and ends up sniping a second place because they decided they were going to fight for 18 laps in a row? As Liam is all over them, as they are now side by side going down there, and this double little slip action gives Liam the opportunity to take the better of the two lines and just follow them. As why did it move the camera? Is Liam sending it 3 wide now? He wants to get into this. He doesn't even know that these two are out for blood. He probably has no idea that these two will murder if he tries to get involved in their fight. They are rabid dogs right now. So that's a dangerous place for Liam to be. So we'll see how he handles this, because I think, like, if they're side by side with him, they'll be like, nah, we're still in this fight, and it's sorry that you ended up here. But this is between us, man. Why'd you show up? As we see Thompson going way wide. Piper trying to keep it on the inside, but that's going to maybe let him open up the line a little bit. But no, as Tompkinson is up into second, Piper sitting in third. Now Liam's all over Piper, but Piper needs to keep the pace up on Tompkinson as he's getting attacked again. Thank goodness I was lagging because I thought Piper missed the break point and I was like, oh no, but it was all good. As he is all over the back of him. He's probably not even looking in his rearview mirror at Liam. He's like, no, the guy in front of me, that's who I need right now. I'm mad at him. As we're going to go ahead and check the back just a little bit, see how we're going. As Austin's sitting in 5th, Edwards still sitting in 6th. We've got Rob up to 7th, Clements in 8th, 9th is sitting Thomas with a great race sitting in 9th. Connor up into 10th, sitting there very solid with his top 10 performance. Ash back just a bit in 11th, and Rossi in 12th as we've had two DNFs due to wheel braking on Sean and lag from Ben. As Graham's sitting pretty, and now we've got Piper, Tompkinson, and Liam McEwen all up in here trying to have a little bit of fun. As Liam's pushing on the outside of Piper, Piper says, no, I'm going to make you go on the outside. That never works at this track. But really, he doesn't want to battle too much here with Liam, as everything Liam's doing is slowing him down, which is going to get Tompkinson further and further away, as Liam couldn't quite keep it on the outside, couldn't quite force it too wide through here. And then Graham's just up here in first, laughing his butt off. He looked in his rear mirror, like, oh, they're trying to kill each other. Oh, now they're in a fight. Oh, whatever. I'm gone. And now he's just cruising on his own little pace, and he's still got a 2-second gap with just over 2 to go. And now these guys have another person in the battle, so that's even more looking for Graham to be able to solidify this. Piper, who came in wanting a win, changed his goal. He wants a little bit of blood now. Now it's a battle for second, because that's all that matters. And Liam's in here wanting to play spoil party to both of them. Imagine if neither one of them got second, because Liam passed them and they did all this battling. That would just be one of the funniest things to start 2021. That would just make the year almost right off the bat. If all their squabbling ended up getting them past, that would be just hilarious. But so far, Piper, who gave up that second place to Tompkinson, is having a lot of trouble finding a way to get it back. They're coming up on the penultimate lap. He's got pressure everywhere. These two are going crazy. It seems like it's the only thing I'm really watching. So we'll flip around and check out everybody else real quick. As Rossi's bringing up the back, we got Ash sitting there. We got Connor trying to find a way over here on Thomas. It looks like Thomas has been really racy today. Connor also really racy. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens. We got Clements all over the back of Rob. A little bit of gap up there to Austin and Edwards, who is honestly closing that gap down to Liam as they continue to battle. We're going to end up with even more people who can play spoil sport to this second place. And that's even more people that are going to let Edwards get a bigger and bigger lead. So while I don't know if he's going to be able to close up 1.8 seconds in 2 laps, we are on the penultimate lap. They are going to start battling like absolute madmen. All these positions are up for grab, and for actual standings positions. I mean, we've literally got Tompkinson in 3rd. We've got Piper in 1st. These guys are battling for podium and literal championship winning positions right now. And then McEwen's just in here like, I'll just spoil it for both of you. What if I get second instead? And then Graham's just cracking up because this gap's just getting bigger and bigger as they're battling more and more. Oh, Liam looks outside. I like it. Just making sure he's paying attention. Although, trust me, Liam, he hasn't looked in the mirror once at you. He is literally probably red-blooded looking at the car in front of me. He doesn't even know you exist right now, okay? So don't even worry about it. Like, you are just another object on this track right now that does not need to be worried about. As they keep it nice and tight, Liam's looking for anywhere to go right now. Ooh, see, I told you, he has no idea. Does not care. Keeps it on the track, keeps it together, slips it right back in. You gotta understand, Liam, there's nothing Piper's gonna let you do to get by him because he has to get this guy in front of him. It's like, it's an absolute battle right now. They are in a different world. It is a different race between them. As we do see Connor and Thomas keeping it nice and close right here. Everyone else kind of filtered in their lines. It's really just this battle here with Liam, Piper, and Tompkinson. Can Tompkinson hold them back to the final lap? Can Piper close it down? Hell, can Liam spoil sport at all? That would be amazing. Tompkinson does get a decent gap going through that first corner into these S's, so that's going to be problematic for Piper as he slips back just a little bit into Liam's clutches, though. And Liam, you know, while second may be a little bit far-fetched, it's pretty far up there. That podium's looking real spicy right now. So he's sitting on a purple lap. He's getting pulled to one of the best laps ever. He wants to keep it right in here. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do. As we do see, looks like we still got Connor and Thomas relatively close, but they're a little bit more separated now. little 0.3 of a second. Is there anywhere the Piper can do it? They're running out of times. If we don't see any big mistake from Tompkinson here, this might be, I mean, it's his to lose here. You know, they got a little bullyish. They bellied each back and forth and just said, fine, we'll determine this stuff on the track. And he's trying to make sure, he says, see, I told you so. My track. Piper's only got what? The chicane and a turn, so we got 2 main turns left, and that gap's starting to slip into Liam's as well. Is Liam going to find a way to get a podium? Tompkinson, none of them really went flat out at that. I don't think anyone really went completely, like, just try to kill their car at it, which is smart, but Piper tries to find any way to get a run going. I don't know that he's going to get it. It looks like Tompkinson's probably going to hold on to this one as Liam's looking like he might try to get something, but Tompkinson does go inside, starts weaving, and holds on the Battle of the Blood as Liam tries to find anywhere to go. Into 5th goes, who is that? Liam in 4th. 5th is Edwards. 6th is Austin. 7th is Rob. 8th is Clements. 9th, Thomas, who Connor couldn't quite find a way by, but does solidify a top 10. So those are 3 great finishes for him. Ash coming around, gonna take 11th, followed in 12th by Rossi, and then 13th would be Sean, who I believe said his wheel broke, which is, you know, rest in peace. Best wishes to you. We've all been there. And then Rossi coming to the finish line. Always looking good. Had a fantastic second race. This race didn't turn out the way he wanted, but hits that finish line nonetheless. So, fantastic race. Congratulations, Graham. What a race for you. Congratulations, Tompkinson. Congratulations, Piper, our podium winners. Fantastic racing. Liam on the outside looking in. Had it right there, but couldn't quite get it. Congratulations to all the participants. Thank you guys so much for showing up here. Having a good little day with us for the SBR Btcc, presented by STDASH Designs and any other sponsors or whatever they may have. So, thank you all for showing up. That was so much fun. I hope you guys had just as much fun as I did here on this Friday night. And if you did, check out SBR. They're available on YouTube, here we are right now, as well as on Facebook and Instagram. That's SBR Racing. If you enjoyed it, check them out, drop them a like, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you.